and there's a good reason for that. Suppose I did a forward contract with Val, and I said, I'm going to buy 1 million euros from you 1 year from now, and I'm going to pay 109. And 1 year from now, I look at it, market is 1. So if I simply renege on my promise to pay you 1.09 per euro, say, I don't know you anymore, I can go to market and pay only 1. That means I'm defaulting on my obligations. Yes, you can sue me and all that sort of stuff, but those things have cost. Or you simply may have I may have declared bankruptcy, and I can't satisfy that obligation. So in forward markets, you have counterparty risk. In futures markets, you only take the risk of the exchange. They are basically exchange traded, standardized, both in terms of expiration date and size, forward contracts. Where both long and short parties, the long party is the party that benefits from an increase in the value of the reference currency, and short party benefits from a decrease in the value of a reference currency, where both long and short parties have the exchange as their counterparties. While I'm establishing a long position in Euro contract, at the same time, Nico may be establishing a short position. But if I'm doing it in the futures contract, I don't even know who the short party is, and I don't particularly care who the short party is. Because as far as I'm concerned, exchange made me a promise. On the expiration date, if I'm the long party, I'm going to I'm promised, let's say, one contract, 1 euro contract. I'm promised 125,000 euros because I'm buying those against, whatever the exchange rate is in dollars. Whether or not Nico, who does exactly the reverse, whether or not he satisfies his obligation to the exchange, doesn't matter to me. That's a problem between Nico and the exchange. As using cleaner version of one of my favorite quotes from Pulp Fiction, my name is Paul, that stuff's between you all. Any Tarantino fans are here? One of the most important filmmakers of 20th and 21st century. Not the best, but Stanley Kubrick probably is the best, in my opinion.
Kill Bill?
Yeah. Kill Bill 1 and 2. He actually made that movie as one movie.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was close to 6 hours. So studio said there is no way we can release it as one movie. So they did it in volume 1 and 2. And since exchanges are not in charity business, they actually require a collateral. It's called performance margin or margin. Once you establish a position, and the so-called margin account is settled daily. I'm going to give an example and we'll see how it kind of works. Most active FX futures are on Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Short for CME. Okay. Let's look at Euro contract. You can go to CME.com and let's see, markets, FX. I don't want to know who that is. Products. Let's see. Euro FX futures. You could also do a direct search and reach it that way. And let's go to specs first. Short for specifications. Okay. Contract unit, 125,000 euro. So if you wanted to establish a position for 1 million euro, you would have to use 8 contracts. 10 million euro, 80 contracts. Price quotation in US dollars and cents per euro increment. So the price itself is US dollar. The quote gives you the value of 1 euro in US dollars. Trading hours, Sunday through Friday, Sunday 5 p.m. to Friday, 4 p.m. And there's a 60-minute break each day between 4 and 5, that's Central Time. There's a 1 hour difference between US market closing and Far East opening. And minimum increments are basically one half out of 10,000. So each at a minimum value of contract goes up and down by 625. And the so-called tick value is 12.5. So if the contract goes from 109.51 to 101.52, the value of the contract changes by $12.5. There are quarterly contracts for 20 consecutive quarters. So March, June, September, December, but almost all of the volume happens in the near contract. And this is what we call deliverable. If you haven't closed your position by the time the expiration date comes, if you are the short party, you are required to deliver that amount. So if you have 80 contracts short and you haven't closed that position, 80 contracts is equivalent to 10 million euros. On that date, you are required to deliver 10 million euros to the exchange. But it is extremely rare that anybody leaves them as anybody takes delivery. And we'll talk about why that's the case. And trading terminates at early morning of 2 business days prior to the third Wednesday of the contract month. Because at the end of that day, you're supposed to deliver. Actually, 2 business days after that. Let's look at the margins for each contract. You're supposed to place $2,400 US as collateral, as margin. That's a very small amount. And they kind of look at it. This determines the so-called what the maintenance margin is.